All right, so there's a new Laci Peterson documentary out on Netflix. I think it's just called "The Murder of Laci Peterson." Dude, they need to get better with these titles on Netflix. Remember the Hitler documentary was just called Hitler and the Nazis?
Dude, this is the one. I laugh about this probably once every 2 weeks when I think about the fact that you're sitting at home watching a documentary about Hitler in the middle of I'll say a non-work day.
Bro, come on,
and
man.
you noticed that you had a very similar lifestyle.
Yeah. I feel like so many people were worried when I said that until I played the clip.
I was worried.
Yeah. I'm like, we have a lot in common. Check this out. Yeah, so this is called American Murder, Laci Peterson. Let me ask you, what do you know about the Laci Peterson case?
Okay, so I know that the allegation was that he killed her and their unborn child, was it? Or like a very young child, like maybe 3 years old, something like that?
No, she was pregnant, 8 months.
Okay, and then took them out on his boat in like a nearby lake. I think it was like somewhere in Arizona or something like that. I could be wrong about the state.
California.
And then dumped them out in the middle of the lake, I believe is what the narrative was at the time.
Do you know why people say he's guilty, or they deemed that he was guilty?
That I do not. This was like what, like 2005?
Yeah.
It was around the time that the Patriots and Eagles played in the Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, what a lot of people don't know that I have to bring to everyone's attention is that she was silly. I mean, she was a silly, but look at this picture. Look at those. R.I.P. Respect to her and her family and everything. Dude, doesn't he look like Harrison Wienerhold, by the way?
From that angle, no, he kind of does. Yeah.
I mean, come on. No, but she was a silly bazilly. She was 8.5 months pregnant. And Christmas morning, he went out fishing. He came back to his house, and she wasn't there. Their dog was in the yard with a leash on, just walking around in their yard.
Mm-hmm.
He went into the house. Nobody was there. And he called her mom, and he was like,
her mom?
Her mom. And he was like, yo, I think Laci is missing. And then a whole bunch of other shady shit happened. Okay, so first of all, dude, check this shit out, man. I'm obsessed with these trials, man. I'm sorry if this is boring to people, but this and JonBenet Ramsey, I will fucking, on my deathbed, I'll be thinking of these cases.
Dude, I for the life of me cannot say JonBenet Ramsey's name. Like I can't. Yeah. Every time I try without thinking, I JonBenet Ramsey. I can't.
Yeah, I know. It's a very pretentious name. So, dude, he went out fishing on Christmas Eve morning. He goes out.
That's a stone cold killer move.
He drives.
That's to say nothing of what happened.
He drives 90 miles away on a boat that nobody knew he had.
Dude, she must have been the ultimate nagger. He's going out on Christmas Eve morning to go fishing. She must have been nagging the fog out of him. Why are you going out right now? Why we got the baby coming along? Can you give me some chips? Can you give me some chips from downstairs?
No, come on, dude. Look at her, man. I'd fucking put up with that shit. She was silly bazilly. He went out the morning of, and he drove 90 miles away to some random ass bay.
Yeah.
When he got to the bay, he was sitting on the dock of the bay, and then he drove.
Otis Redding.
He took the bay out a mile away to do some wacky fishing, and then came back. And then came back to the house. Drove 90 miles back to that. Dude, this fucking guy, when they were looking in he worked at he was a fertilizer salesman. When they I know, it's a weird, yeah. when they checked out
this
his
man sold shit for a living.
When they checked out his place of work, this little warehouse, they're like, "Oh, dude, this is weird. You applied for a fishing license December 9th. You bought this fucking boat December 9th, and you bought all these fishing supplies, and you and they found a bunch of like homemade anchors in the boat. Now he said that there was only one anchor. There was only one anchor remaining in the boat.
Does that make the baby an anchor baby?
Oh my god, dude! Jesus Christ! Come on, R.I.P. to Connor.
Obviously,
Peterson.
guys, I'm kidding.
They saw one anchor in the boat, and they're like, "Is this the only anchor you made?" He's like, "Yeah, I just made one anchor." Then they went into the warehouse and they looked, and there's all this dust on the floor, and they see fucking imprints of other anchors on the floor. So he fucking clearly made it. And then the anchor that they saw in the boat didn't even have a string attached to it. It didn't have a rope attached to it. So like, what are you doing with anchors that don't have a rope
connected to anything?
Yeah. Are you like maybe attaching them to a fucking dead body?
Or dead two bodies. Yeah.
Yeah. And then dude, during like the fucking, the search parties and all that shit, he's acting weird, all this stuff. Then fucking they find out he has a mistress. He has like this chick on the side, and he's like calling her during the candlelight vigils for Laci Peterson. And he's like, "Yo, what's up, babe? Hey, I miss you. I love you, blah, blah, blah." And then he told this chick like in early December that his wife has gone missing. And then 2 weeks later, she's actually missing.
Oh my God. Dude.
So, I mean, he was clearly like butt sized for this side chick and wanted to do away with, his whole entire life.
Okay. All right. So a big part of murder cases, I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, it's all good.
It's determining motive, right? But what's his motive to get rid of not only his wife, but his unborn child? I mean, that is a savage, cold-blooded move.
I mean, you heard of that guy that murdered his family, right? For his side chick.
So it was purely, I got pussy on my mind, pussy on my mind.
Well, I mean, you heard about what's his name? Chris Watts. You know about that guy, right?
No, I don't remember.
You don't know about Chris Watts?
No.
Oh shit, dude. Okay. So Chris Watts is a guy who just one day fucking woke up and fucking strangled his wife to death. Then he goes into his 4-year-old daughter's room, does the same bit to her. Then goes and does it to the 2-year-old. He had 2 daughters. He does it to the 2-year-old.
It's not looking good for you, dude.
For me? Oh, because I know. I thought about that. Not killing them. They're just they're the same age. They're the same age. Never.
Guys, just for the record, Hitler and Chris Watts. Go ahead and Google those two people.
No way, dude. And so fucking dude, he tries to, dude, this is the saddest thing. He does it to the 2-year-old, right?
Yeah.
She fucking survives. He's driving with them on the way to like where he's gonna dump the bodies. He realizes the fucking 2-year-old's still alive. He fucking donks her off again, and then he puts them. He worked at like an oil tanker or something, some big ass tower where he could hide shit.
A big rig.
Yeah, he worked at a big rig, Craig, and he stuffed the bodies in there. And then he went on for like weeks. The news is interviewing him, and they're like, are you sad? And he's like, oh, just like, I hope we see him again. Like just acting like fucking totally normal. Dude, it's crazy, man. He calls the cops, right? The cops show up to his house, and they're like, oh, does anybody have cameras around here? And he's like, oh, I think my neighbor has like a Ring camera. And so they go to the neighbor's house with the dude, Chris Watts, and they're like, hey man, do you have you have a camera? Can we check out the footage? The guy's like, yeah. And then Chris Watts is like, yeah, man, I don't know what happened, blah, blah. Chris Watts leaves the house of the neighbor with the police in there talking to the neighbor. And the neighbor's like, yo, man, I don't know what's going on, but that dude is fucking acting weird. He never acts like that ever. And the cop's like, oh, okay, thanks for letting us know. And then it turns out that he fucking murdered his family, hid them in this fucking oil tanker or whatever, because he had a fucking side chick and he wanted to like start a new life with the side chick.
Now, when you're talking about hiding them in the oil tanker, do you mean like in like the big cab where you're pulling the levers and operating the machine? Or are you talking about like use the oil tanker to like drill their asses down into the ground?
Maybe it's not an oil tanker. It's like let me see, oil tank.
Eric?
Okay, here it is. Here, I'll show you. I'll just show you a picture. We'll give Laci Peterson a break here. Here is
maybe for an eternity.
This is what it was in. This shit.
Oh, it's like an oil well or like a silo.
There's a big ass, yeah, I don't know, big ass cylinder,
Gotcha.
cylindrical tower.
Yeah, it's like a paper towel dowel.
Yeah, it's paper. So anyway, so I feel like fucking Scott Peterson was the same bit, dude. He had this side chick. He was sprung like a mug. And he had Laci Peterson, who is silly, don't get me wrong, a silly bazilly. Let me pull her picture up again. But, you know, he wanted that new flavor of the month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was riding on a bus, and she was like, oh, ooh, papi, let me see that jalapeno. Let me see that jalapeno through them pleated pants.
Exactly. So, dude, here's what happened. So the fucking side chick, she's like, well, hang on. I didn't know he was fucking married. Like, he told me that a week or two ago, but I didn't know that it was like, you know, I didn't know it for the entire time. I'm not that much of a scumbag. So she calls the cops, and she calls the tip hotline, and she's like, yo, I've been dating Scott Peterson for
yo, cops, what's good, cops? Yo, I got some news to break to y'all right quick.
Hey, Yana, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Yana,
excuse me.
This, you know, if I get some immunity for this, you know, I'm saying.
I ain't trying to get locked up again.
You know, but I got my attorney at law right behind me. A Wigger Law Firm, LLP.
Yeah, and so like, she calls the cops and she's like, "Yo, I'm like involved in this shit, but I'm not a scumbag like this dude." And so they're like, "Okay, will you let us like record your phone calls with him?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And so, like, forever until he was forced to fucking like admit to her that there was like a fucking nationwide search going on for his wife. He was just talking to her, like hollering, like it was like nothing was going on.
Which, okay, so that, you know, maybe the motive's not so clear, other than,
dude, I'm telling you, the motive is he didn't want his life that he had.
Oh yeah. All right, you're right. I misspoke. Take it easy, Yana.
I'm sorry.
But the pattern afterwards is pretty fucking clear. You know, he was not feeling emotionally bent out of shape about his wife and his unborn child being vanished, disappeared. So, you know, that's a pretty telling trait, I think.
Oh shit, this is another crazy part, dude. So they're doing like a manhunt for this beautiful lady, right? I mean, look at her. She's fucking, what would you give her? Like 8.76?
Yeah, she's like a 7.
So they're doing like this crazy they're looking all over for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because
now she's probably like a 0.
Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, here's the truth. Like, she's silly. He's a good looking guy. He kind of looks like Harrison Wienerhold, but it's okay. It's Christmas. It's literally Christmas, which is weird because that's exactly the same time that Jean-Benet Ramsey got donked off.
Mm-hmm.
Jean-Benet
Ramsey.
Because she's like silly and it's Christmas, it's fucking massive news, which is crazy because like, you know, they wouldn't be that size to cover an ugly person's story.
The Christmas Massacre.
So there's a nationwide, like there's a crazy manhunt going on. They expand the shit. And eventually they bring out a shitload of boats and they're looking in the bay that he told them that he went fishing in.
Yep.
And he didn't know this, but the cops were tracking his movement. So they had some sort of like fucking tracker on his truck, right? This motherfucker, while they're searching for her in this big ass ocean of water or body of water, he fucking drives 90 miles to where they're at, like posts up for like 2-3 minutes, goes away to a restaurant, like to to chill, comes back like 3 or 4 times to kind of see, like, I mean, the theory is that he was like, trying to check, are they looking in the right places? Are they blah, blah, blah?
Well, that's also like a very serial killer mentality too, is that a lot of those guys love to watch the investigators and kind of like see like how close to the scent they are or how well they covered their tracks. So that is a very murderous characteristic.
Yeah.
Also doesn't make him guilty. That could just be circumstantial.
And he didn't tell anybody he was there, right? He was just doing it on the low. And then get this, when he fucking goes back home and they give up the search, they're like, they thought they found the body. Actually, they did a sonar reading in the water, and they saw like something that looked like this with the head and like arms sticking out. And they're like, oh shit, that's a body. It turned out it was an anchor, an old anchor that was just in the bottom of the ocean. And so he gets home. He gets a call from his mom. My mom. She calls and she's like, he doesn't pick up, but he checks the voicemail right away. And they could hear him listening to the voicemail because they had his phone wiretapped. And the mom calls and she's like, hi, honey. I was just calling to let you know that, unfortunately they didn't find Laci's body. It was, it happened to be an anchor. And as soon as she says it was an anchor, you can audibly hear him go, whew, like, yeah, dude. He's like, thank God, woo! Yeah, whoo. That was a close one. Yeah, and then he hangs up. One more thing.
Yeah.
When they're checking his computers at work, he he's looking at shit online about the ocean, and he's not looking for like best places to go fishing, best bodies of water for blah blah blah. He's looking for the tide activity in different areas of the bay that he's in.
What do you like whether or not like maybe it could wash, the tide could wash.
Yeah, the directions of the tide or whatever. Yeah.
This is something that police use and like, investigators use all the time now too. And again, very circumstantial, but it does, if they have an already strong case, they will use it to bolster their case, where a lot of times they'll look up like Google results or search results, and you'd be amazed at how dumb people who commit,
I mean, so stupid,
crimes will just search on their phone or their laptops. They'll be like, how to hide a body.
Honestly, I feel like I would do that. If I killed somebody, I'd be like,
oh yeah,
killed somebody. Now what?
You're
like murder for dummies.
All right, let's look that up right now.
Killed somebody.
Now
what?
Somebody. Sorry, using one hand. Hunting and
best places to hide it. Yeah.
It's Alex Jones, and it's time for the conspiracy connoisseur to take you on a wild ride.
Best places.
Corners of the internet. Grab
Two. All right, nobody murder my wife in the next like 5 days.
Yeah.
Please hide body. All right, let's see who comes up. 10 ways to get rid of. All right.
Silly. What site is that? Not
All right, hang on. All right, these are my search results. You guys can see that now. 10
why are all the links purple, dude?
They've already been clicked on.
Oh my god, dude! Holy shit, dude! What are you fucking researching over there?
10 ways to get rid of a body and how they'd really work out. How to hide from a murderer. 16 safety tips. Disposal of human. All right, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
How about how to hide if you're a murderer? Spider Clamp says, look up how to make a pipe bomb while you're at it. One more thing. Shit, what was I gonna say?
You never got to
okay. Okay, so there happened to be a burglary on the same block, the exact same time that that she went missing, right? And it was like 2 doors down from them or something like that.
Was it 2 doors or was it 3 doors down?
Yeah, it might have been 3 doors down. And initially gut reaction if you're a cop is like, oh, this dude is fucking he murdered his wife and he did this to make it seem like it's somebody who was just going house to house looking for somebody to fuck with, and then they found some people who were potentially the guys that burglarized the house, right? And then the second they approach him for it, they're like, yo, we think that you guys robbed this house and we also think that you kidnapped Laci Peterson. They immediately are like, all right. We did burglarize the house. We did do that, but we had nothing to do with fucking Laci Peterson. We definitely did not fucking do that. So, and they took a polygraph and everything like that. They wanted to because if you fucking murdered a pregnant lady and you go to prison, you're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
So they wanted to clear their names basically because they were like, we did not have anything to do with that shit. Anyways.
Okay, so, let me ask you this, and I've been thinking about this for about 20 minutes now. What makes this a Boucherab's bizarre belief? Do you have maybe an idea in your mind that he didn't do it and there's something that can clear his name, or it's just kind of they got the guy, they got the right guy all along?
Well, I mean, there is a theory that there were rampant fucking satanic cults that were going around the neighborhood. Actually, this is true. I'm not making this up. And that they kidnapped her to use her unborn fetus as a sacrifice. I don't believe that. I actually believe it was Scott Peterson. I believe it's pretty fucking obvious. But I just played this music because I think people like it.
Has he floated that narrative as a way to try to absolve or clear his own name, or no? I
don't think so.
Because I saw that he was, I don't think up for parole, because I'm pretty sure he's in prison for life, but I did see that he was trying to mount a new appeal or something fairly recently.
Yeah, there was some, I forget what the organization name is, some Innocence Project or something like that. That
Innocence Project is the John Grisham. Oh no, not John Grisham. The guy. It's either John Grisham or that guy that was in Making a Murderer. Who also, I believe, Barry Sheck, I think his name is, who also helped get OJ either convict or off the hook or something. I can't remember. Barry Sheck, I think, maybe is involved in that.
Okay, well, fucking OJ obviously killed his wife. That's what drives me crazy about it, dude. It's I want to fucking get people out of prison who don't belong there, but how are you gonna anyways.
She enticed me.
And then I had to
do crime.
I had to do a crime. All right, that is Boucherab's bizarre beliefs for this week.